Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to a brand new live series of Transport Fever 2. That's right, as soon as we found out a date for Transport Fever 3, I thought we better do some 2 in the run-up to that. But before we jump into the game for what may be the last time to build in Transport Fever 2, let's do the hellos, how do you do's, and the news. Good evening, hello everybody. Stribo Fox says, I hope his GPU doesn't go kablooey. I haven't had GPU problems now for a while. That's all fine now. I fixed it. I did a live stream on the second channel, on the variety channel, fixing it, and it's been fine ever since. So if you want to see that, there's a live stream and there's a video time lapse over on the variety channel. Go get yourself sub to the variety channel. It's great stuff. It's all the extra brilliant things. WW says, looking forward to OpenTTD 3D S3. Yes. I tell you something that has broken though, folks. This is broken. The retro counter. It's kaput. It's had it. It's gone. It's broke. Although, right, I'm not sure what the thing is. I don't know if it's the lighting inside that's broken or the actual power transformer that's gone, but something's gone. But do you know what? That gives us an opportunity. That's right. Apparently I've heard that in certain parts of the world, the word crisis and opportunity are the same word. Crisitunity. So I will probably just disassemble this and re-rig it back up. And I will probably rig it up with some smart stuff. Or at least with my side switches. We don't have Cam 2 tonight, do we? No, Cam 2's on rest. But next to my desk, I have some actual mechanical switches that do... is there any lights that you can see? Oh, there's one of the things that you guys can see. So I've got lighting in the shelves. It turns the lighting on and off, right? So we can do that. We can do that. You think it was the 7 that was put the wrong way around? Maybe. Maybe it was the 7. Hi, Steerpipe Sister. Hello. Yes. Whose name are we using for the map seed? We're going to have to use the wheel for that, aren't we? The retro counter needs update. Does it need updating? Let's have a look. Because the only way you can get an actual true sub reading is through the oh yeah, it does, is through the YouTube Studio. Why isn't YouTube loading the stream for you? Ooh, try Firefox. Yes. Okay, well we'll update the retro counter first, seeing as we've been talking about it anyway. There we go. Yeah. Right, there we go. These are fine tonight. There we go. Yeah. It's proper broken now. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Hi DJ Egg, and along with some of the other moderators like Gerard and Jackamak and Stiff-Height Sister as well. And of course we've got our channel members like Chexu Kid and Fran the Man. Of course there's also a bunch of Viewer Plus subscribers. If you're ever confused, you can go to the website and on the support page, is it on the support page or is it on the Viewer Plus page? It might be on both. I've got a thing that tells you the difference between the plans. Now, if you want a quick look, this is the quick look. So Twitch subs, Viewer Plus memberships, and YouTube memberships. Pause it, read it. Yeah, we're not staying there. So what we are going to do though is we're going to have a look at the last and the recent videos. So I did a video about Microlandia 2 being announced. It's not out yet, but I'm pretty sure relatively soon the beta will be out for it publicly. But if you want to look at the Viewer Plus, if you want to have a look at the features behind that, I read Viewer Plus in chat as I was speaking, and I did that thing where you say the word that you're reading rather than what you want to say. Then check out the video, because I got a relatively exclusive look at the game, so thank you very much for the developers for that. And of course, today's video, where I got fired. And not only can you be the judge of what you think, but watch the video and then afterwards check the comments, because the developer replied and posted their opinion. So we'll have to see whether you agree with that as well. Yes. I arrived... hang on. I also revived the Transport Fever post in the games forum on the Discord. Yes. So on the Discord, we have a forum in the games section called All Other Games. Because for some of the games, we've got dedicated channels. But it's not It's not appropriate to do that for every game. So we've got an all other games forum with one thread for each, one post for each game. Now you don't have to just post in there just to revive it. It is there. It doesn't get like deleted or anything. It's still in the list of things. So you can leave it how it is. You don't need to bump it or anything like that. But if you've got anything relevant to add, go for it. Right, carrying on from where we left off. No, we're starting a new series. So there we go. What's going on next? You are using Firefox. That's why you're upset. Whoa, yeah, that sounds like a bit of a trouble then. If I give you a solution, and the solution is your problem, well, I don't know. I'm just going to finish off some of my Wraith here. If you want to support the channel, one of the ways you can do so is get your drink from Wraith if you would like that sort of thing. I recently purchased 3 new Wraith drinks. They're on the way. Maybe I'll put an unboxing on the second channel. I've started doing that recently. Can you add the vehicles from all regions? I think that's an option. If it is, we'll do it. Yep. So there we go. Right, what are we doing next? Oh, yes, next up in the news and stuff is that we have a new monthly giveaway, and it's another giant bundle, right, over on GOG. So that's the giant games. I'm not describing the size of the bundle as giant. It's the series giant. Okay, so go and have a look on portal.masterhellish.net for that. Also, throughout the live stream, I'll be giving you guys the chance to activate an extra live giveaway. So we're going to spin the wheel on that now. Now, one of the options is for there to be an instant unlock for that giveaway, and if we get that, that'll be the 4th time in a row. So let's have a look. Checkers Kid says, I saw there was a multiplayer mod. Have not tried it yourself? No, I've not tried it either. Yes. So let's find out if we're going to have a 4th instant in a row. I don't think we have, because it just went past it. And there we go. Right, okay, so it's selected 5 donations of £5 or more. So if we have that throughout the live stream tonight, before the end of the live stream, I will do an extra giveaway. It wasn't an instant one. Oh, it wasn't an instant one last stream. Oh, okay, there was an extra one that I forgot about. Okay, so that's all the those bits and bobs, last videos and giveaways. Other news is that we haven't got any viewers games planned yet, but there is a public open TTD game coming up that you guys can come and join in on Friday the 11th, starting 1 hour earlier than normal at 7 o'clock UK. So if you normally rock up at, I don't know, 9 PM your local time, you need to be here at 8 PM your local time, because we're going to be doing my yearly partyathon stream. I say yearly, I started it last year, we're doing it again this year, so it seems like it's going to be yearly. We're going to be having a public open TTD game and more. We're going to have some party games as well. And now, a few quick notes about trips. These are interesting. I'm looking forward to them. At the end of this month, I'll be going to a LAN party in Barnsley. Myself, I think one of the people in chat have said, but I can't remember if they said it publicly. I'm almost certain they said it publicly. They can shout out now. I've said they're going. Bingus is going. And also, at the beginning of October, we're off to York for the weekend. All these trips are listed as events in Discord, and there's a thread in the general channel if you want any more. Brandon says, what counts as a party game? Basically, any game we play in a partyathon can be a party game, technically. Yes. Will you enable experimental map size for Season 3? Probably not. We don't need it. All it's going to do is slow the game down, and we don't need it, because we've only got about 5 or 6 live streams before Transport Fever 3 comes out, and then we'll switch to Transport Fever 3. So on September the 29th, Tuesday, we're going to slip an extra live stream in. So that week, we'll have the normal Monday one, the normal Wednesday one, and the normal Friday one. But on the Tuesday, we'll have a Transport Fever 3 stream on the day the game launches to the public. Now, luckily, my normal Transport Fever slot is the Wednesday. So that week, you're actually going to get a double bill. So on the Tuesday, it'll be launch day, Transport Fever 3. And then on Wednesday, it'll be Transport Fever 3 again. So we're going to have a double bill. And there we go. You just pre-ordered it? That's a good point. I haven't actually pre-ordered it yet. I need to get around to pre-ordering it. Okay, so that's all about the trips. I am Obviously looking forward to both events, but the LAN party's closer, so that's in my mind, and I'm really looking forward to getting to that LAN party and getting involved. I don't know if Jackamac's going to be there, but we'll see. I think they were thinking of going. I don't know if they've said anything yet. Now we can update the retro counter. The 8's broken. It's fallen apart. The whole, in fact, just to really drive it home that the whole retro counter's broken. New donation. Fantastic. There we go. Retro counters properly busted now. New donation from WeJubya. First donation, they said, donated £5. Thank you very much, WeJubya. Very much appreciated the support. And just a note there, because since you went to that page, I think we've still got white text on a white background, so it might be difficult to read the page, right? Do we still need to fix that? I think we do. Yeah, so let me know if you can. And I know I've shouted out my Wraith affiliate, but we'll also shout out my GOG affiliate, because we're all gamers here, right? So if you want to buy any games and you want to do so from GOG, do please consider using my affiliate link. There we go, everybody. That's the news. If anybody's got any questions and stuff about anything we've talked about or any of the recent videos, do shout out. I'm going to get the game loaded now. Okay. Oh, the counter. Yeah, we need the counter. So this is, we need donations for giveaway target. Donation, oh, hang on a minute. Let's do it like this. No. Donations for giveaway target. I wish there was something in Windows where you could do a keyboard shortcut and it would just change the capitalization of your paragraph from like sentence case to title case and back again, because I often make that problem. There we go. So where is it? Donations to giveaway target is now 1. Thank you very much. There we are. Hello everybody, welcome. Yep. Oh, I've still got Premiere Pro open. What's Adobe Premiere? What was I doing? Oh, I was making a short. Okay, well we can close that. I don't need that. We're doing a live stream. Professional, I know. Yeah, on the donations complete page, it's not white on white, but grey on grey, so the colour contrast is very low. Okay, WeJubya, I've got it on my to-do list to get fixed, but because like the only issue is colours, it's relatively low. If it was broken, then I would be much more on it. Jackmac says, we did Fall Guys as a community about 2 years ago. Yeah, we did it. I think it was one of the community game nights. Oh, we got a couple of whistles, haven't we? Where's my whistle? Here we are. So we had a train whistle recently. Don't know who that was for. We'll have a look. It'll be in my list here in the backlog. There we go. So the first one's for Laurelil. Here we go. There we are. And jobs are good 'un. Also, Adobe Premiere's crashed. It always crashes. It crashes on attempting to close, which is fine really, because like if it was crashing while I was using it, I'd be very annoyed. But yes, if we have a look at my right before I launched this Transport Fever game that some of us liked. Oh, one of my lights isn't on. There we go. Oh, 2 of them aren't on. There we go. We only had the front light. There we are. Yes, so some of the games that I've got marked in my Steam library as party stream games is Runs of FTL, Jackbox, Choice Chamber, Streets of Rogue, Drawful, Stream Racer, Cluster Truck, Marbles on Stream, Hidden Words, Drawery, Streamer's Court, that sort of thing. A lot of them seem to have like little integrations with the live chat, but also things like Altitude. New donation! Fantastic! Thank you very much, DJ Egg. The message there, new donation. Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much for that new donation. There we are. We're up to 2. Xenotic is an absolute corker. When it comes to first-person shooters, I think that's fantastic. Right, this whistle's for Kurt. There we are, fantastic. Noita has integration, which is fun. Yeah, but it's not the sort of thing that you can just pick up and put down or have a round of relatively quickly. So it's not really great for party streams. So even though it's got integration, it's not great for that. Streets of Rogue, yeah, Streets of Rogue is similar, but Streets of Rogue, the runs are shorter, right? Streets of Rogue 2 is nowhere close. Yeah, I did reach out to the developer on that, and they were basically like, yeah, "Go away." It's like, come on, no, I've got nothing for you. Like, we'll let you know when there's stuff to say. Yeah, right, folks. We're gonna start that. Like I said, we're gonna start the games very soon. But I actually had some sad news before we jump into the game. This is my last box of poppets. Once I've eaten these tonight, I will be poppetless. However, next week, the party-a-thon for my birthday is obviously for my birthday. I did ask the kids if they would get me some more poppets for my birthday. So I'm pretty sure I'll be all right. I'll be all right at some point. If I can get through the beginning of next week, I think we'll be okay. Right. Game's loaded. Now, there is actually an issue with the music in this game, which... Hang on a second. As much as I love the music in Transport Fever 2, we're gonna have to turn it off. Because it creates false positive copyright strikes. And it's one of those systems where it's close enough that the system thinks it is the music that it's copywriting, even though it's not. And then, like, you have to go through the whole process of being like, no, you have to appeal it, and it has to go for review. And then, but I was like, oh, I can't, can't be going through that process for every live stream. So we're going to have to turn the music off. Jackamak, I'm one step ahead of you. Here we go. Let's see if this works with just one button press. Okay, it did. I'm in the game. The game's here, and we've got the open TTD music in the background. It's probably slightly too quiet though, so let's just raise that ever so slightly. I think this is one of the quieter tracks, but I did level the track, so it should be okay. There we go. So we got some open TTD music. Right then, free game. Oh no, which environment do we choose? Do you guys want to just shout out randomly, or should we let the wheel choose? I feel like we need to let the wheel choose. Right? Would be fun to see some mods tonight. It's too late. Yeah, way too late. Right, so if you wanted to see mods in this Let's Play, like shouting it out when you first heard about the Let's Play, or possible things about it. Yeah. Do a wheel. Yeah, okay, we'll get the wheel out. It could slow us down a little bit, but right, so we're going to have T for temperate, D for dry, and T for tropical. Oh, no, wait. Okay, T-E and T-R. Right. Yes. Temperate or tropical. Says, well, we'll find out what the wheel's going to say now. I have no idea. Yes. Didn't we do tropical last time? Maybe. It was either tropical or temperate. I don't know. But let's see what we're going to do this time. Let's let the wheel decide. Oh. We're doing dry. Yeah, Jackmax says we've never done dry, but it looks like that's what we're doing now. So, we don't need to go any bigger than very large. In fact, for this Let's Play, large would probably do the job. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, I think large is going to be enough. Number of times high, industries medium, and the seed. Change the seed to a user in viewer plus. Yes, we'll change the seed to a viewer plus person. Hang on a minute. Oh no, I changed the scene before it came up. Okay, will it go again? Okay. So basically, can I quieten this? When the wheel spins, if I change the OBS scene too quickly and dismiss the result of the wheel, it stops the wheel from sending the result back to the website, and the website still thinks there's a wheel in the bank. So we have to wait for it to disappear, then we know it's gone. Now I can actually spin the wheel on Viewer Plus subscribers. There we are. So let's find out which Viewer Plus subscriber live in chat tonight we're going to use their name as a seed. Now, Chegzo Kid's in this list. I believe. And they got it last time, so it's... Oh, it's Kurt! Congratulations, Kurt. We're going to use your name as the seed. So if it's a terrible map, it's going to be your fault. Oh, dear. Right. Right. And we're up to date with train whistles. Fantastic. Okay. Let's just delete this seed and put it in and find out what Kurt gives us. Oh, okay. So there's a river running through the middle and some bits there. Bit of highlands. Looks interesting. So remember, it's all Kurt's fault. Ian Smith says, evening, sorry I'm a little late. It's okay. When we start a new live series like this, there's usually a little bit of background, a little bit of setup to, you know, get into it. Yes. What is that? Marching Forward says, I'm on there twice and still lost. Yes, if you have more than one active subscription, you can be on there twice. One way of doing that is by having a lifetime membership and an existing membership. So that's one way of being on there twice. But there we go. I think we're ready. I think we're ready for the next screen. Yes. So now it's asking me which vehicle. Can I do all of them? I think... Oh, does this get rid of the... Town names, European vehicles, all. Apply. It says generating map again. Well, it still says Kurt. Vehicles are still set to all. Okay, we're all right. Yes. So that's fine. I think everything else is all good. So let's start, shall we? Here we go. Transport Fever 2. Series 3. Road to... whatever that is. Date 1850. Well, hang on. Do we want to change the starting date? Do we want to move forward a few? Should we start at the year 1900? Actually, hang on. Yeah, let's talk about this. Why not set the year later? Yeah. Should we go 1900? I think just jumping forward 50 years is probably a good idea. Yeah. Okay. We'll do it like this. Okay. Again. Transport Fever 2. Series 3. Probably the last network I will build on Transport Fever 2. The road to Transport Fever 3. 29th of September. Let's go. Got my drink. I've still got a bit of drink. Let's see how it goes. I don't think I want to slow down in game time for this. Laurel says, I've never played Transport Fever or watched a stream of it. This is my third season. My third... I think it was both... The other two were both live series. Did I ever do Transport Fever 1? I think I might have. I can't remember. So clearly we need to build a road across the whole map and call it the road to Transport Fever 3. Maybe. It's also your first time. Okay, we need a poll. We need a poll. Have you played this before? Oh, I mistyped this. It's alright, we've got a second. There we are. Started the poll. Right then, folks. It says, welcome. We're going to close that. I'm going to pause the game. Now, down in the bottom corner here, we've got 10 million in the bank account. And I believe, yes, that's loan. So you start with nothing but a loan. Look at this level of detail. Look at this. In a train and transport game, we get bushes and trees with this level of detail. And then you can just zoom out like this. And like it was relatively smooth to zoom out to the size of the world. Look at this. Ridiculous. Now, some of these things are hills, but some of them are cliffs. So we might have to tunnel through the edge of them. Industries have these symbols on them. So it seems like we've got quite a lot of new people. So I'm going to kind of explain what I do as we go. Here is the town. Again, you know, it's pretty well detailed. You know? And if Transport Fever 3 is going to be, you know, a little bit better than this, then wow. You know? There's Jackson Scott. I think there's a button to view Jackson. There we go. There's Bowler at. Walking past whatever that building is. There we go. So you can follow. Oh, we've ended up inside a building, but that's fine. Right. There are lots of... Ooh. Market Raisin? I don't know what these town names are. The question is, though, do we start with the town or industry? Now, Transport Fever is not an easy game, really. Things cost a lot of money to build. And they don't generate humongous profits. This looks amazing. The way this river cuts through this hill, this gorge. I don't think you would ever get that in real life. I can't see how geology? I can't see how that would work in real life. Anyway, town. Yeah, start with a town. I think towns can be hard. Okay, if we're starting with a town, do we have a world map? I don't know if we do. Trying to remember all the different things, right? I don't think we do, because we can just zoom out and use like overlays, right? So we can hide everything except towns and so forth. Yes. The canyon would never work in real life. Yeah, I know, right? Farms to food production is better. Yes, it is, but like not necessarily what's better is what we're going to do. You know me in these games, I like to provide myself with a challenge. What we can do is go to the town directory, though. Here we go. And we can switch the town directory to show us the size. So we can see which the biggest towns are in the game. So here's the biggest town in the game by far. The downside is that it's near a big hill, the edge of the map, and the river. So we're probably unlikely to find a nice pairing for it. Also, when you go off the edge of the map and look straight down, you get like this weird... You can see the weird point of where the skybox all joins up with the rest of the skybox in the world. It's just a strange little thing. Right, what's this one then? We've got a town down here. This is the second biggest. And the town over here is the third biggest. And you know what? Those two, he says. I was going to say those two are near enough to each other, but that's a long railway. Might be doable. I think it might be doable, you know. Even at those distances. What do you reckon? Do you think it's too far? It's a relatively long distance. Also, we've got to figure out how to add a train station to this town without knocking down too many buildings, because that costs money as well. Yeah. You think you smell big profits? It could be the end of the series with the first railway line. Let's have a look at this town. So this town, I was looking for a place to put the train station in. And I think we'd have to remove this road and try and get the station in here, because then where it connects to the road networks determines the coverage, because the coverage goes along the roads, right? It has a certain reach along the road network. Yes. Yeah, maybe if we can get a passenger network coming in profitable, we can we can work on oil next, maybe. Or maybe even try some good old coal, eh? Oh, nom nom, pop it. So, I mean, we might have to rename the towns. We're going to have to rename the towns. Of course, we'll rename them after viewer plus subscribers. Okay, let's see if we can get an example in with this one. And of course, we have to start with trains, right? There's fast enough trains that you could stop in a smaller city. Maybe. This just feels like a good challenge, though, at the moment. So, let's go a little bit top down. You can see that these buildings around here, when you've got the... Oh, I remember now. I remember the change between Transport Fever 2 and Transport Fever 3. Train whistle. Yeah, it's before 9 o'clock. Here we go. Here we are. So, one of the main differences that I loved between Transport Fever 1 and Transport Fever 2 was that stations became proper modular. You could add extra bits onto the platforms. And even in the truck stop and stuff, you could add extra bits and build it out. So, you smell Brandon, well, I don't think Brandon's in chat tonight. So, you can rotate it around. If we can connect... See, look, there you are, look. You can see a certain amount of the town got highlighted when I connected it. So if I connect it over here, we get less coverage than if I connect it, over here. But if I put it in there, we're going to demolish 11 buildings. If I put it here, we demolish 2. If I put it there, we demolish just 1 building. And we still get good coverage. I can't think of anywhere else that gets as good a coverage for so much stuff. So we're going to put it in... Oh, we might need to add extra lines later. Oh, Brandon is here. Brandon's lurking. He's been playing Eve. I think there. Right, 1 pixel that way, it gets an extra building. If I put it here, we only bulldoze 1 building and the coverage gets plenty. So I think we'll be all right. Foxhole, okay. Right, there we are. We've got a train station in. It's I love how the detail on these stations, right? You can see the town name on the thing. I believe the time on the station clock is the real life actual time. What time is it in the UK now? Yeah, it's just gone past... Oh, yeah, that looks like it could be the real time here in the UK. Right, let's see if we can get a railway line all the way across the world over to here. Getting the train station in this town is going to be potentially even more difficult, though. So, yeah, look, all the passenger stuff's over there. We might just have to have a sharp railway turn that comes into the city. So, let's get the camera orientated in a good way. So, it's not telling me how many buildings will be removed properly because the road's in the way. You love how new stations change over time in this game. Yeah. So you get given access to new stations. I think I'm going to have to delete this road. I don't know how much that's going to cost, but it's gone. Now we can try and get our train station in. Oh, look at that. We can get a lot of the town and only 1 building gets removed. Right there. Fantastic. There we go. Was the building thingy too loud? The game sounds too loud. I'll keep an eye out for that. So now we need to connect our 2 stations up. And we're going to have to go round past this road. And then past this edge of the hill. And... oh, here we are, look. There's some birds in the air, I think, somewhere around here. Where was it? I saw some birds in the air. This is something that I said Mashinki was missing. Because if you roam around this world, there are animals and birds flying around. They're just dotted around the landscape. And it just gives it a little bit of life. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what I can do with the track here. So, track in Transport Fever's not too bad. it's certainly a lot better than it used to be. It was a bit finicky. So I think what we need to do... Oh, and I find the best way to deal with it is actually mark your points out because it's flexible. So to get around this corner, I want to result... Oh, hang on, where's my terrain lines? There we are, contour lines. I want to avoid this hill as much as possible. So I think we're probably going to go across here, right? So that piece of track denotes the place and angle I want the track to be at there. And then that allows me to connect these two bits together, and then they curve through. Okay, so you can see as we come into the station, the top speed is not great, but we're going to be slowing down to come into the station anyway. So there we go. There's the speed of the curves. There's actually a speed viewer as well, which is quite nice. Now, I don't know if our trains are actually going to be going that speed anyway, so I'm not that bothered. Next, we need to figure out the rough direction we need to go in, and if there's any things in... Oh, no. Let's come out the other town. Or shall we? Okay, how far can I zoom out? Ugh. I can only just fit it on one screen, I think. Where is it? Oh, it's there. Right. Drawing mode. Okay. Have I got my drawer? Yes. So down here, this is where one of our stations is. And then all the way here on the right, there's the other station. Now, the only things we need to avoid are the industries. And if you draw a rough straight line between these two, it actually goes right between all of these industries. Like it just completely misses all of them. Goes right through the middle, which is brilliant. And it's mostly flat. Now, is that a coincidence? No. My experience and Tycoon brain picked up on this as we were looking at the stations and where the cities were. So earlier on, when I was looking at the cities, my mind's eye noticed a mostly straight flat land between them. The only problem we have is that I've lost my mouse cursor. Oh, there it is. Is that we have a bit of hill around here to deal with. So as long as we can get around that hill and then go straight across, we should be all right. Okay. So let's head out that way. We need to go in across here. Now, this road is almost certainly in the way. But what we can do is just delete it. and use the slightly lowered land that the road's using. It says main connection will be interrupted. Okay. That means that two towns or an industry or something doesn't actually have the connection it needs. But I'm pretty sure we can find another shortcut or way for that to go, and we can use this for our railway line. So, let's get rid of this. And we'll figure out something better in the future. It's a town connection, yes. And that's where I want my railway line to go. So we're going to put a piece of railway line right through where that was. Just a little bit. Now, where that railway line is and where this is, we'll be able to connect up in a minute. But we also need to come over here and get our railway line going across the first crossing over here. So something not too diagonal, something about there. So it goes across the road quite nicely and misses the industry and comes out the station rather straight. Because of course, we don't want great big kinky tracks everywhere. In OpenTTD, a little bit of a kink is fine. In Transport Fever, it slows you down way too much. So, we've got a bit of a kink here, but we have to get around this and into the town. So, hopefully, that will work out okay. And now, we need to try kind of just go straight between these 2 points. But you can't build a straight line that zoomed in. So, we're going to do a bit in between here. And then we'll zoom in a bit this way. And we'll connect that straight line to the beginning of our curve there. See, we spent nearly 2 million. All I've done is 2 stations and 1 bit of track. It's ridiculous costs. We've got a little bit of a curve, bringing us away from our straight line, but that's so that we get a good run into the town. I think that's probably worth it. Yeah. Got home from work. Welcome to the stream. We've just spun up the game, and we are playing our game of Transport Fever, and we're working on our first line. And you know what? That is actually our first line. I think you can start building and then zoom out. Well, you can start building and then scroll. Right, so we've got some towns that are disconnected now. And ideally we do need to fix that. So it was... Which towns was it complaining about? Okay. Oh, it was these two. I mean, I don't care about that. What will the town do? Yeah, I'm not sure. I did kind of steal their bit through the hillside to put my railway line in. You should maybe adjust the kink next to the hill on the other end. I think given the geography of the landscape, I think this is relatively appropriate. One of the things you can do, though, is if you've got a sharp-ish corner like this, because of the way it was constructed, and you've got plenty of money, you can just bulldoze that midsection and relay it, and it will just smooth it out. So you can get this, like that, and I'll only do it this time for, you know, and there you go. It's much smoother, that corner now. It's less of a kink, more of a sweeping bend. Okay. I'm not sure what to do about this road. If I had the money, I'd go put a tunnel through the hillside and then go over there, but I haven't got the money, and this farm's in the way. Maybe we just leave it and see what happens. Why are you hearing OpenTTD music? Because I've had copyright issues with the Transport Fever 2 music in the past, and even though they're false positives, I don't want to go through the hassle of having to deal with that. So we've got OpenTTD music instead, even though I love the Transport Fever 2 music. Right. Now I need some trains. You think the road can fit? Oh, it probably can fit. What we can do is use the hillside as a bit of a... let's see what we've got here. We can come off the top of the hillside and down like this. And if we raise it up a little bit, we can end up with a little bridge. But that's going to cost me like 52,000. Can you hear a tiny bit? Yeah, you can. Go to Google and type in Transport Fever 2 soundtrack. There's actually a good soundtrack listing somewhere on YouTube, so you can go and listen to it. I like it. We can bring this... Oh, no. Can I bring this down while still keeping it hilly? Is it this one? Oh, right, that's it. So we can bring this down. Like, just try and bring the hill up. That still costs a lot of money and it won't even fit. There you are. So there are options that we could look into. So there we go. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to get the engine shed out, and I think we're going to do it over here. Because I'm going to use this space here. It looks quite how I want it. So, the way that this game handles train depots is you need a train depot to add the train to the network. And if for some reason you want to take it off, I think you have to send it to the depot as well. But you don't need them for servicing, and you don't need them for modifying. Okay? So we're going to put this one here. We're going to turn it around so it fits a little bit better. And it might need to be elevated slightly. Because the track is slightly elevated. Yeah, the track's slightly elevated. So there's a button you can press to make it go up. There we go. So we can make it the same elevation as the track. Move it back a little bit. It's going to cost us about another 10 to 15 grand for that elevation. But I'm quite happy with it. There. And then we just make our junction. So it's almost straight into the station. Did I get the elevation correct? No, I did not. What? Oh, it changed the elevation. Oh, well, never mind. I'm not going to change it now. I'm going to be... We'll probably just completely get rid of it in the future. Alright. Now we need our first train. So let's go and buy a train. So, there's no electric trains and no diesel trains. We've only got steam trains. We've got a variety of engines to choose from. Because not only did we pick all 3 train types, but we also started 50 years later. We can order by type. We can order by cost. Let's order by top speed. Gives us a bit of a thing to go on, right? So we've got the tiny little train at the top here. That's not very fast. I love that you can just change the size of all these windows. It's great. The flexibility. Yes, top speed of 40. And down here, we've got the A35 with top speed of 100. Yes. You only need them for purchasing trains. They're not used for anything else at all. That's right. So, why wouldn't I choose this train? Well, presumably because it's got a very high running cost and it costs a lot to purchase. 3.7 million to purchase. Okay, let's go down the scale a little bit. That's a lot cheaper to purchase and does the same top speed. It is not as powerful, but I don't think we want so much power because we're going... Yeah, Franderman says power and tractive effort needs to be decent. True, but you got to remember we're going on a relatively level grade here and the trains aren't mega long. This one's slower in speed, but costs a lot less. And then that one is even slower, but doesn't cost much less. Okay, I think we're going to go for the cheapest, fastest one. The 10-wheeler. 2 million for the train. It's expensive. That's a very expensive train. This one's less than 1 million. The train that I'm looking at is double that. But I think over this long distance, we're probably going to need some speed. So if I click add, it adds it to the train down here. Doesn't purchase it yet. Because we still need our passenger carriages. We've got all of these passenger carriages to choose from, but any that have a top speed of less than 100 are going to slow our train down. So we can't have that one, we can't have that one, we can't have that one, we can't have that one. We can have this one or this one. So we can either have the 6-wheeler or the 6-axle passenger car. Now this one has a length. Does it tell us the length? Cargo type. It doesn't tell us the length. Huh. That is a bit ridiculous. Well, what we can do is we can add as many passenger cars to this train as possible and see when it turns and says that it gives you a score in the bottom right here. You can see down here what the kind of kilowatt rating is. If that goes down from high to medium, you might not want to do it. If it goes from medium to low, your train's too heavy and long, right? So let's get rid of a couple of these. When does it say? Also, there's the platform length to think about. So let's get rid of that. Oh, is it changing? Also, that's more than the money we have for one train. Wow. This is an all the eggs in one basket situation. Does that not change there? I could have sworn like a value changed somewhere as we went. Okay, what's the length of our station? Station length is 160. Yeah, very expensive. Definitely all eggs in one basket scenario. This line has to make money, otherwise it's a restart. So let's get that engine on. Passenger wagon. We can also get more loan out though. So we get the most we can have in terms of money is a 84 capacity train. So if we get rid of these and add the 6 axle ones on, the best we can have in terms of money is an 80 capacity train. Ah, okay. I think it's a little bit longer. Is it lighter though? Oh, there's a 2 times loading speed bonus on that one. That's good. 2 times loading speed. Oh, this one's got a 2 times loading speed as well. The emissions are less. The weight is a lot heavier. The full weight of the train would be a lot more. We would be looking at 40 tons times 4 versus 15 tons times 6. So 40 times by 4, 160. 6 times 15, 90. It would be a lot lighter. I think this is going to be the better option. Yep. Yep. And we get 4 more passengers. Okay. Something else to note is the wagons have different speed multipliers too. Yes, we do. These wagons have both got the same. So, we're going to put all of our eggs in one basket. We're going to buy this train for $7 million. And just like that, on 2 stations, a piece of track, and 1 train, I've spent over $9 million. Yes. So, now we're going to set a line. So, in OpenTTD, we have shared orders, and we can add trains to that list of shared orders and take them off. In Transport Fever, you set up a line first and you add vehicles to that line. So the line's going to go between this station, down here, and to this station, and back again. It's the most simplest line in the universe, right? It's even just called Line 1. And it's got the default colour. Now, I don't think we're going to put any full load orders on. Maybe I should do a full load order for the first part of the journey. Yeah. Okay, Line 1... Let's do, and then we'll take it off after. So we'll change it to full load any cargo. Just so there's some people on the first trip, I think. And then we're going to assign this train to that line. And there we go. We can unpause the game. And the game starts calculating a billion things. And here we go. First train. Fantastic, everybody. Well done. That's now bankrupt the company, I'm sure. Everything is over. It's all gone terribly wrong. It has been a little while since I played Transport Fever, but it's nice to be back. It's good to be back. It is indeed good to be back. It's a nice looking train, actually. I like that train. I like the shape, I like the colour. I think the trains in Transport Fever do just stop almost on the spot. Oh no, there's a bit of deceleration. They flip on the spot though. Yes. Have I chosen a capital city? I'm not sure that's the thing. Is that a thing? I have no idea. Okay, let's see what's going on. So, here's our train. And there is nobody in the train station. Because as soon as they come into the train station... Oh, there we go. As soon as they come into the train station, they're pretty much getting on board of the train right away. And if we have a look at the train information, there's 1 person on board. Oh my goodness, it's costing us an absolute fortune. Are there people waiting at the other end? That's what I need to know. Come on. Whoa. Let's have a look. There should be people waiting. No. Maybe it requires a train to come first. I need to stop the error warning at the top. Fine. Let's build a bit of road for that. We have a little bit of money left. Right. So, I am going to do what I said I was going to do before. We'll have a bridge here. So, if I can just raise up the end a little. There we go. Try and just... can I raise it up a little bit more? Yeah, I like the look of that. There's a little bridge. And then, I guess... Oh my goodness, this bit could cost a bit of money. That's not too bad, actually. So we've gone over the corner of the hillside with the bridge, with the road. We've used the height of the that to allow us to have a bridge that comes down over our railway and over to the road. There we go. Passengers will start coming to the station once the line becomes active. There we go. Well, what we can do is I think we should probably send our train on its way. So line 1, we're going to change it to just load if available. Now, even though Transport Fever has a full... Oh, it's on its way now. So even though Transport Fever has a full load option, it only waits up to a certain amount of time. So, there we go. Have some more poppets. Enjoy my last poppets. So, folks, obviously it's not going to make much money yet because there's not a lot of people waiting at the station. But there's going to be, maybe. And if there is, how much money do you think a full train's going to make? I'm not sure. Now, this is a nice game to look at. They can be configured to wait forever, can they? Yeah. Brandon says the grass looks like it did here a few weeks ago. There we are. It is looking good. Whoa. I didn't know that button did that. Oh, there's a boulder. Oh, there's a slider, is there? Okay. If Gerard's around, I may need your attention in a few minutes. Okay. So the train's going up a little bit of a gradient here, but not much. It's so that it meets its objective of going through this little bit of hill. We've got somebody on board. How do I go up and down? No, that's angled down. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So who's this? Well, I think that's got to be Derek, right? Is that Derek? You guessed correctly, I believe, Gerard. You guessed correctly. This train's actually doing quite well. It's keeping good speed. It's about to go across another level crossing. 97 kilometers an hour. Jason, welcome. It's got up to 100 right now. And it's still doing 100. It's going really fast. There's only one driver though. There's no fireman. Maybe the fireman fell out. Oh, this is giving me flashbacks from what was it? World thingy. Train Sim World 6. I think having this long distance, relatively straight run, relatively flat at this speed, it's got to be a good sign, right? Brilliant. Love the way this game looks. I can't wait to see if the Transport Fever 3 is just a whole nother level up again. I don't remember the graphics being a massive difference, or much of a difference, between Transport Fever 1 and Transport Fever 2. But, to me, this sort of game with decent graphics in the first place doesn't always need bigger and better graphics, does it? Eh? Doesn't always need that. Bear with me a second. Jackamak, are you still in the stream? There we go. So the train's about to arrive. There's only 4 people on board. Let's see how much money it makes. And then we can try and work out how things are going to go. Oh, we're in the negatives. We need to take out a loan. There we go. Right. So here we go. How many people are waiting at the station? 48. That's not too bad, actually. Yep, Jack Max here. Right. How much are you going to make? 91,000 for 4 people. How much are those train tickets? They've got to be relatively expensive. I mean, it's costing an absolute fortune to run. Yes. Bear with me, folks. I just need to send a message. It's time sensitive. I'm sorry to have to do this in the stream, but it is time sensitive. So bear with me a second. I can't find... Oh, Discord. Please give me the ability to group contacts like I can group servers. There we go. Basman Smith says £22,750 a ticket. I did wonder. So, I'm now wondering whether we're going to make decent money on this. Because it's costing a lot of money to run this. If we look at the finances... Yeah. And even more in today's money. I suppose so. Yes. Hello, never seen by day. Welcome. So, here we are. This is our only train. It's now just over half full. Should we do a prediction? Let's do a prediction, everybody. So we've got 44 people. What's the goal of the game? Really just to build a successful transport company. This game has so much gameplay for creation. But doing so can be relatively challenging. Like, I'm not sure whether this company is going to survive. I've only built one train, and we don't know whether the company is going to survive. I think I've made quite good logical decisions, but I don't know. So very similar to OpenTTD. I think with OpenTTD, I suppose in OpenTTD you can do a lot of different other things. You can have city growth competitions and things like that and play multiplayer. You can't really do that in the same way in Transport Fever. There are mods that sometimes kind of work, but we'll see. Now, Gerard says, Transport Fever 3 looks a bit more like cities, with a junction management in the road for the towns. Yes. Yeah, in terms of a goal, it's a little bit open-ended, right? There is a campaign mode. That's completely different, right? It's completely different. So, you never know. Yeah. Bear with me a second. Right. Oh, what's that? This. Oh, here we go. Look, it's our copper mine. Oh, it's an iron ore mine. There's no copper in this game. Silly me. See, the animation, like, it's not amazing, but it's pretty good for this sort of game, right? This bit of the track got quite a lot of elevation. Train's not far off. We might do some fast forwarding. Should we do a little bit of fast forwarding? Should we wait on the bridge for the train to come? There we go. There we go. Oh, there we go. New vehicles available. Right, can I do buttons for fast forwarding? No, they're shortcut keys. That's no good. Right, here comes the train at 4 times speed, I believe it is. Oh, there we go. Right, this is your last opportunity to get your prediction in. Money doesn't look good at the moment. I know. We've spent somewhere in the region of probably 400,000 on this trip. Yes. Ian Smith says 950k, and we've got Tinman say we've got a 1.0 million, 800k. It needs to be above 700k, really. 1.1 million would be amazing. 1 million. Almost exactly to the nearest thousands. 50k. Yeah, that's not good. Now, that was only with 44 people, I think. Look at this. We now got 79 people on board. Gerard says, I've already been seated. I think Bingus is helping us out. Right, whilst we're talking... Right, okay, folks. There's a bit of a conversation going on in the background, because the seating plan to the LAN party that I'm going to in Barnsley has just become available. Right? So we're trying to get all seated together. Whoa, whoa. What's happening with the keys? What was that? That was a bit weird. It's doing it now, I think. Oh, no, wait. That's the motion of the train. No, it's doing it again. The camera's gone wonky. Yep. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. So it's alright now. Then I go up. Okay. I think the camera's behaving itself now. Is that train heading to LAN party? Yeah, maybe. Now the thing is, I can't build any new stuff until I get this fixed. I mean, until we get enough money coming in from this, but we're alright for now. I was getting stuck in onboard mode. It did look a bit like that. So this LAN party that I'm going to at the end of the month, the seating just became available, but my friends sorted us out for the seating. I'm just going to give it a bit of a shout out, right? So if you want to go to a LAN party, there's 15 days and 16 hours until the beginning of the LAN party on the 18th of September for the weekend, right? The LAN party is at a place. It's at the BHF Priory Centre, right? Now, don't just turn up. It's a ticketed event. But if you want to buy a ticket, you can do so. Row E. Oh, they've moved things around a little bit. Okay. So at the moment, we're on a row of 6 people in the middle. Oh, in Barnsley. Yeah, that's the piece of information I was looking for. Yes, the Priory Centre in Barnsley. Now, this is probably the only LAN party I'll be attending this year. So if you want to go to a LAN, and you want to go to the same LAN as me, you need to get yourself a ticket. And do they have any... Yeah, they're about half booked up already. And the seating plan's just been available. Just been made available. Yeah. The train's taking longer to get to top speed. Maybe. Right, so we've got 365,000 in the bank account. Let's do some more fast forwarding and see if we're going to make a bit more money with this train. I'm wondering now, do we add a second train and a passing place in the middle? Will the amount of passengers... See, look, there's only 44 people here in the town waiting to be collected. That's not many for the return journey. Yeah. Right, train's in. 1.8 million. I think I've managed to make a profitable company. Thank goodness for that. You don't think there's enough passengers yet? But yeah, but is it one of those situations where the more passengers, more transport you add, the more passengers you attract? So, yeah, 1.8 million. Okay, so now we've got that line in. What I suggest is that we build like another line, maybe to the 3rd biggest or 4th biggest town. So now, the biggest town is this one. The 2nd biggest town is the one across the water. That's the one we're working with right now. Yep. So then the 4th biggest town is this one. Also on the other side of the water. As is the... Oh, actually. Something between those 2 towns might be good. Do I do another separate line? Or do I just try and add an extra platform and a spur off this other line? Could you transport mail as well? Mail, I don't think is a thing. It's not. I don't think it doesn't exist. I don't think. Let's have a look. Cargo. No, it is just passenger and cargo, right? And in the cargo, you have all the industry stuff. The towns require different cargoes to grow. So this town requires spanners and bricks, tools and construction materials. Okay. Another town would require something different. Like here, we've got, what is it? It's food and construction materials for this town to grow. There is quite a lot of... There is 2 fields near this town. But where is the factory to change it? Oh, it's down here. So there's almost a bi-directional food service that could be made here with trucks. So you pick up the produce from the farm. You go to the production plant. Go to the town to drop it off. And then back to the farm. Just do that in a circle. So that might be one to do. Yeah, road vehicles, because it's a relatively short route and they're cheap compared to trains. Yeah, when you get bigger towns, and they end up adding more requirements to continue growing. There's so much oil in this area. Yeah. Now let's have a quick look at the other end again. So at this end, it is the tools and construction materials. Now there is a factory here that makes the tools, but to make the tools you need, I think it's planks. Yeah, planks from sword stuff. So there's a couple of extra steps, and there is actually a forest here, pine forest. So we could go forest to sawmill, sawmill to tools factory to town. And that one would work as well, probably relatively straightforward. The other thing that is here is the building materials. That just requires stone. I'm not seeing any stone around here. There's stone out very far away. Oh no, there's stone there as well. We could actually probably do both requirements quite easily. We could. Yeah. Frown the Man says we need more lights on the stream. Definitely need more lights on the stream. And what we got, so this end we'd need something similar. So we'd need, see, there's the forest, there's the sawmill. Where's the thing to make the bricks? See, there isn't one. So this town requires construction materials, I think it is. Yeah, construction materials. But there's no place to make them. Oh, the train's on the way back. Let's start having a little look at its finances. Oh, look at that. Okay, so in the most popular direction, it made loads of money. But it needs to balance that out in both directions. So we'll have to see over the next couple of years what that makes. That's another $1 million. It's not too bad. I think that's going to be a profitable service. Between the two different directions. Yeah. You think it may like a second train? I think it might need a second train. How often is the... There's something in here. There's something in the line statistics or something that tells you like the rate. Let's have a look. Details. That's of the train. I think I need the line information. Here we go, the line information. This is what I was looking for. So the rate here is 89. And what you want, I believe, is the rate to equal what you're expecting to shift. So if you've got a production of so much, you want the rate to kind of equal that, I think. So it's been a while. I used to know all this stuff inside and out. Oh well. So, what I propose is, as we can't do bricks down here, construction materials, because there just isn't one anywhere nearby at all, like on this entire side of the map, we're going to have to do food to help the town grow. So let's do that. Let's use some of the existing road infrastructure. I'll add a couple of shortcuts and connections. So, what's our options for vehicles and how fast do they go? So this is steam train. I don't want trains. Why is it going to buy trains automatically? Is it because it's the only depot I've got? We need another depot. Building. Road depot. Here we go. So let's put the road depot in over here. Because if we add new vehicles, this is where it's going to add onto the road. There we go. That's much better. Cargo. Let's filter by... Oh, we can just look down the list. Let's search by top speed. So we've got our steam truck. And that goes 25, that goes 25, that goes 25, that goes 20, 20. Right, okay. So we've got basically 3 different variations of this. Oh, no, that's a DMG. These are steam trucks. Okay. So there's got something that does some random cargoes, and this one does all cargoes. I'm not sure what the difference is. In fact, that's the only difference. That one does all cargoes as well. But it carries 1 less. Has a higher loading speed. Lower emissions. Running costs are a little bit less as well. Oh, no, wait, hang on. Yeah, running costs are less as well. They're about 1,500 a year less on the running costs. Goes the same speed. I think this is... I mean, its capacity is 1 less. But at this level of capacity, right? I know it's only 1 less. But this has got the... what's the maths on that? So it's 100 divided by 6. That doesn't work very well. 50 divided by 3. That doesn't work very well. 100 divided by 3 is 33. Divided by 2 is approximately 16, 17. So it's about 17% less, I think. Yeah. Okay. So far, I'm liking the look of this game. To me, it's like OpenTTD, but in 3D, 4K. Yes and no. I actually made a comparison video. I think it's a brilliant time for us to shout that out. So if you OpenTTD Transport Fever 2. Okay, so I typed the OpenTTD Transport Fever 2, the top result in the video, OpenTTD versus Transport Fever 2, same game, but not really. It's a brilliant title by me. So, I did a video that looks purely at the gameplay. It doesn't take into account, it was made by different developers, it was done in different times, one of them's free. It doesn't take any of that into account, right? But, it looks at just the gameplay. Right. Another title for this could be OpenTTD versus Transport Fever 2, a gameplay comparison. Right. So, you might want to watch that video. If you're sat here going, I'm an OpenTTD fan, but I don't really know about Transport Fever, that's a perfect video for you to watch. In fact, maybe we should actually pin that. Because it is so relevant to a lot of people. Right. So, the top... This is why I'm looking at the vehicles. I wanted to know the top speed so I can know what to spend on the road. So, the top speed we're looking at is 25 kilometers an hour. So, any road that does 25 kilometers an hour or more is pointless. So, spending more on a medium country road to get 60 kilometers an hour or a large country road to get 80 kilometers an hour is pointless. We only want to get small country roads. So we're going to be coming somewhere from the town to this road. So I'm going to just join that junction to this road. It's going to cost 24 grand, but it's going to be a very good shortcut for our vehicles. Okay, next up, we need a way to get from the farm to the factory. This is a very wibbly bit here. This is an unnecessary kink. We're going to remove that. And just put a bit of straight road in. 21 grand there for that improvement. Now, what we'll do is we'll put a piece of road that goes past the farm, almost straight over here. It's doing it a bit bendy-like, but I think that's the angle of the junction. Tell you what, let's do it part way first. So we're going to end up somewhere about here. Wow. That's going to cost a good bit of money. And then we're going to come out of there and connect to... Oh, God, that's a bad angle. Can we get a better angle on this road? I don't seem to like either of them. Okay, let's try and force it as a tighter angle. Okay, that's better. Right. And that's all the road infrastructure I want. Build roads in small parts to save money. Yeah, if you do that, it goes up and down the terrain a lot more and does less of this digging. So there we go. Switch to curves. Oh, yeah, curve for that bit might have been better. I'm quite happy, actually, with the kind of directness of that, actually. Anyway, I'm happy with that. We now need to get in our actual buildings. So the buildings for this one is going to be a truck station. And truck stations have a certain polarity to them. And the polarity is important because if this truck station, you go in the same way you go out, but you can change it to make vehicles come in one bit and out another and loop around. We want to be able to do that. The problem is, I can't remember. I think they go anti-clockwise around these vehicle depots. So I want to get it in a space, so like kind of here, that is still close enough to the farm, but leaves me enough room to mess around with the platforms a bit. So let's see. There's a polarity to it. So if I turn this so it's more or less perpendicular to the road and place it, I think, here. And then we're going to do a little bit of playing around with this. So this is something you couldn't do in Transport V1 that they added in 2. You go to a configure mode and you can add and remove bits. So I'm going to remove this bidirectional road. I'm going to add another bit of cargo terminal here. Yeah, and here. Then we're going to add an in and an out. So we won't be able to see the exact flow of where they load. I think they load on the inside. And they go anti. So we want to be going in this way, I think. And out this way, I think. I'm pretty sure. And then, I mean, if I've got it wrong, we can switch it round. It's not the end of the world. Right. A little connection there. And then... That's actually the wrong way round, isn't it? Because then they're coming in... Well, they come down this road, and then they want to go out back down that road. I suppose what we can do like this. Like a T-junction. And then just connect it up. Because it's a little bit more important that they flow nicely through here, rather than important that they're going round the right way constantly. That's costing me money, just sat there. So let's add another one down here. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. And I will... Whoa! I will rotate it. I did it again. I'm doing controls for workers and resources. So I want to get this far enough away that it doesn't connect, I think. Now, you know what? We'll get it to connect, I think. Yeah, we'll need waypoints? Probably. They'll probably need waypoints. Right. Let's get the cargo access on here and here. And this one, we want them to come in here, so it's going to go that way around, I think. So, configure. I've got a funny feeling this won't connect properly once we disconnect it and put in the street access. But what we need to do to fix that is delete the node between these two bits of road. So there is a node here, and to remove the node, we delete the road and re-add it. I don't know if there's another way of doing it. There might be a mod, there might be a special button. But this is the way that I've always done it. And then when I configure this again, I think it will just connect properly. There you go. It does now. There we go. Because there was a node in the way. Yes. One way in and one way out should be okay. Yeah, I think so. And then we can just get our road off here. And then connect that back up here. Oh, we can actually just do a cross junction. You could have rotated the station by 90 degrees either way. Oh yeah, I could have done that. Yeah, maybe we'll do things like that in the future. And then we just need we need a stop in the town. Now, the place that we're bringing food to depends on the area of town. But luckily, we can just do a stop. We don't have to do the whole thing. And you can see all these little bread icons. So I think if we just go in the middle of that, we should be okay. So there covers all of it. Okay. Time for our vehicles. Oh no, wait, we need a line. So line number 2 is we're going to go from here down to there. Now, do we need to go in there twice? Can't remember, actually. I can't remember if it will drop off and then just pick up again. I think it might. Well, you can see that the line is certainly flowing in correctly. The way that they're crossing over at this junction is the right way round. And the way that I've done it here is correct. Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, it's just because it's going to the wrong platform. The wrong... well, they don't call it platforms. So here, we just want it to go to number 2. There you go. This is where you've got a double kink, and it's perfectly fine. So then let's get some vehicles on there and see if we can fix... You know, if I have to fix stuff, I have to fix stuff. That's fine. Buy vehicles. We're going to go with this one. We're going to buy one of them. We're going to assign it to the route. And then looking at the money, we're not doing too bad. Is Transport Fever town growth dependent on the number of stations as well? So, I go into it a little bit in my video, I believe, but you can actually see the conditions for town growth in the town information screen, right? So, there are a number of factors that go into it. There is the public transport, private transport, the supply of food and construction material in this town. It could be different commodities in other times. And then there's the quality of the stations, the traffic, and emissions. And all of these add and remove factors and gives it a target population, right? So the target population there is, you know, it's 164 plus the 30%, 213. So at the minute it's 212. The town will grow towards that 213 point. Yes, it will drop off and pick up. Good. I think I want it to full load here at this grain place. Yeah, I do. So we're going to go to the line information of the road vehicle, and on line 2, I'm going to say when you get to this particular station, I want you to full load. There we go. Heavily reminds you of the city controller game script for OpenTTD. It requires cargoes for larger towns, yeah. So there is currently 25 items of cargo, and we've only got one truck that can carry 5. So we need to clone that truck. So vehicles, truck, clone. Then we can select 2 of them and clone. Then we can select 4 of them and clone. Then we can just select 2 of them and clone. And now we've got 10. And off they go. You can slide the max on the top for the full load order. I mean, I don't think I want them to wait forever on the full load. Maybe we could, actually. So, let's have a look. So the minimum stop time 0. The maximum stop time, yeah, let me just leave it to infinite. Because I'm pretty sure there'll always be more grain than there is food. So I think we'll be alright. Nom nom nom. How's our train doing? Well, There's currently 12 people waiting at this station, so I'm going to guess it left relatively not long ago. Oh, it's at the other end. That's not good. Okay, how many people are on the train? 64? That's not too bad. Look at those finances. That is some relatively healthy finances. You know what? I don't think I've had such a successful first line in Transport Fever 2. What are you munching on today? I mean, come on. There is a short list of things that I currently munch on. And Mega Zoom. It's Minty Poppets. Boxes of 40 grams. I do need some more. There we go. At least it's not carrot time. It could be. It's going to be carrot time. What are we on now? Oh, it's Wednesday, and we're not live streaming on Friday. So I'm unavailable on Friday, folks. That's but next week's going to be amazing. Yay! So you can see that the vehicles here are just queuing up quite nicely. Nice and neatly. As they're loading and coming through. This is one of the good things about having an in and an out on these stations. I just remembered the reason why I didn't put the station 90 degrees to what I've got now. Because if you put the station the other way around, right, so that you can then have a road go in and then come out, it works really nicely for like traffic flow. But if you want to expand the station and make it bigger to add more platforms, you can only do it in one direction. You can't do it in the other direction because then the road infrastructure gets in the way. So there we go. I need more. Do you accept any donations by mail? Don't worry. It's my birthday coming up and I'm pretty sure the kids are probably going to supply me with treats. So I'll be all right for a while. Yeah. A friend of the man says, we will have more on the Hellish weekend. Oops, sorry. Right, all the road vehicles have gone, and we've still got 32 units, so we need more road vehicles. I just really hope these guys are going to make some money. There we go. So they're off. The first one is arriving, I think. Yep, there he is. There's Barry on his little cart. Diesel-powered cart thing or whatever it is. Coming in. Now, because of the way that it works in Transport Fever 2, Barry will drop off and leave because there's nothing currently at the station. But the next one will pick something up. So he's unloading, there's nothing to load, and he just leaves. Okay? But soon, there'll be a little bit of food there. Look, there's one item of food. So yeah, soon the other ones will be here. There's the food. I mean, I don't know how they've made what looks like to be tomatoes and lettuce. Anyway. There's the rest of the group on their way. Here's the reinforcements on their way. Would be nice if this line made some money. Now, whilst we're waiting for that line, should we set up the other one? So in this town, we're going to supply it with... I think we're going to do... I think we're going to do the construction materials first. The reason is, like the farm, it's only like a primary industry and one step in between. Whereas making the tools is a primary industry and 2 steps between. Yeah. Well, actually, that's a good question, actually. I didn't put it in the information. This is vanilla. We're playing base Transport Fever here. So we're going to add some new roads. We're going to add some new streets. I'm going to add a street that... I was going to say that goes straight between these two. I mean, I can't do it in one go, and it looks like it wants to build a tunnel. To be honest, I don't mind that tunnel. It is a little expensive, though. So what we'll do is we'll just bend past the tunnel. So we'll oh, where's my land? There we go. Contours. So looking at the contours, we want to be about there. And then from there, we want to go and line up here somehow. Oh, I like the way that that bends in, actually. And then from here, we'll pick up and go into town. And then back down this road. So we'll add a shortcut in again so that they don't have to go through there. And there we go. So that's the road infrastructure done there. We just need to add the buildings. Again, I'm going to try and add this building so that we can get a nice little in and out, I think. You know what? We'll try it. We'll try it the other way, shall we? Let's rotate this around. Although, actually, if I put it here, we can go in this road and out that way, which would work quite well as well. Let's do that. Configure it. Come in here and remove that bit. Oh, actually, I didn't think about the clockwise. Oh, it doesn't matter because we can use either side of the platforms. So in and out. And then get the street road connected up. Nice and straight. Or straight-ish. There we go. So we come in here. Does that connect? Oh, does that connect up? Yep, connects up to the quarry thing. Oh, I didn't make it longer. I want to make it longer. Okay, let's reconfigure this. We have to get rid of this bit of road so we can easily connect up again. It's a bit rubbish, but never mind. Right. Money's not too bad. Let's get rid of that. I get a bit of a refund on that, though. I like to make these platforms at least too long. It just feels like the thing to do. That's going the wrong way. There we go. Okay, lovely. So we come in here, we pick up, we go down the road, and then we need our drop off and take its terminals. This one, I think I'm going to do the other way around and then reconfigure it. So if they're going anti-clockwise, oh god, this is going to potentially bake my noodle. Alright, if they're going anti-clockwise, they will come in the bottom and then go that way. They won't go through the top. So if they're coming in from the left, they will not go up. They'll go down. That's fine. That is actually okay. So let's get this to align better. So we hold shift. And then I will put it here. We'll no. I don't know why. Oh, that's the wrong building. There we go. Let's get this configured. So remove that one. Put another cargo terminal on there. And you know what? I'm going to remove that one. It's not connected anymore, but that's fine. So we get an in here and an out there. And then we just want to connect it. I guess I could just do it quite straight-ish. Yes. Did I set the name? No, I haven't set any of the names. This one, I'm going to connect it up to the main road rather than going straight because of the railway line. And I might actually do a bendy one. Let's do a bendy one. So the way that bendy ones work, I think, is the way that you kind of like angle it. Yeah, that should do it. And that's that. So now we just need the connection in town. So where's the connection in town looking like? Oh, it's going to be somewhere in this district because we're dropping off there. Okay. Yeah, that's got quite a radius that it accepts. So let's put it right there. Add a second platform on the same side. The trucks will use both at throughput. That's an expansion thing I can add. That's why I've built it in this orientation. Because if you want to expand, because of the anti-clockwise nature... Oh, let's get the drawing tool out again. because the anti-clockwise nature of these stations, a vehicle coming in will turn right. Okay, so then it's going towards the lower platforms. So if we add more platforms in this direction, they'll all flow in, go through, and come out. If we to add a platform on this side, all right, on the other side up here, they'll come in, they'll go across, they'll loop around so that they can then go to this platform. Then they'll loop back around and head out that way, and it's an absolute nightmare. I don't know if it's going to be like this in Transport Fever 3, but I'm guessing that's probably one of the things they would have resolved. Let's get a depot. Road depot can go in there. We need a line. So new line from here to there and then down there. A nice little loop. And on the first one, we're going to do full load any. And we're going to say just wait for an eternity until you're full. There we go. Go to the depot, buy some vehicles. We'll buy one and we'll assign it to that line. And the reason... here we go, look. Did you see that? It's looping round in the depot because it's going to the wrong platform. The game doesn't call them platforms. So if we send it to the other one, it's fine. Let's just check down here. Yep, that's fine as well. Is there a reason you're not naming your lines, or you can just not... Well, I usually do name my lines, but one of the things I like to do is I like to use the town names in the names of the lines, right? So this would be, whatever the town name is, it would be the materials line. But I haven't named the towns yet, so I haven't renamed all the lines yet. So once we've got the towns named, then I'll start naming the lines. And you know what? It's probably a good time to do that. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of people here, I think. 43. Okay, not a massive amount. Where's the train? Where is the train? On his way back. Okay, we might need to add another train soon. These road vehicles are spreading themselves out quite nicely. If we were to add new platforms here, it would be going in this direction. And for this one, it would be going in that direction towards the road, but we don't need that piece of road. So that's okay. We are going to need a few more road vehicles, though, at this rate. 105. Wow. Yeah. Definitely need more vehicles on there. We'll get to it in a second. Please just tell me you will name the lines through the town panel and not through the in-game map. Seems like something you would do. I will probably rename the lines in the line manager. That's usually how I do it. Now, it's like I said, I do the towns first, then I name the lines. So, this town here, this is one of our 2 starting towns. We're going to name it. We're going to name it after a viewer plus subscriber in chat. So I'm going to spin the wheel. We'll find out who it is, and we'll think of a cool name that matches it. And then we'll link in and do the other town as well. We'll do 2 tonight. Okay? So, oh no, we're not going to go through and rename all the towns. We rename the towns as we are going around and using them, right? So we've got 2 towns that we're involved with now because we've only just started this playthrough, and we're going to do that. I do wonder what the balance is like of the... Oh, wow, look at that. Well, the bank balance is doing not bad. You're not a bit thick. You're just asking questions. You don't know everything. You don't know, you know, especially if you haven't been to other live streams or haven't played, you know, watched me play Transport Fever before. This is my 3rd playthrough. Yeah. Right. Let's find out who we're going to name this town after. I think I've got 1 poppet left. Oh, no, 2. 3? There was a tiny one in the bottom. Right. So, the game seed was named after Kurt. And this town... Oh, this town's named after Laurelil. Surely it's got to be Laurelilville. It's got to be Laurelilville, right? Andre, subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Oh, of course it's DJ. Yes. Okay. Let me find my... I just got slightly distracted then by the Machine Key developers messaging me. Lauraville. Laurelil says, I like Laurelilville. It's got to be the full Laurelilville. Striver Fox says, Laurelilville. No, too many L's. Hang on a second. Let me see if I've got this right. Laurelilville. Yeah, Laurelilville. Laurelil. I say Laurelil, but Laurel. That's ill, isn't it? Oh well. New viewer plus subscriber. Fantastic. Yard Dog Macker, thank you very much for being a fantastic viewer plus subscriber. And there's a Laurelilville hill next to it. One too many L's, oh my. There's a lot of L's there, but you know what? I might allow it. Right. Laurelilville. So now that we've changed the town to Laurelilville, if you come into the station here and you look at the signs, it actually... Oh, the sign didn't change because you have to build the station after. Okay, we'll change that one as well. That's just going to be Laurelilville Station. Now I've changed the name. You can see there it says it. On the sign. Isn't that a cool thing? Just... Like, it's nothing crazy, right? It's just a nice feature. Oh, the train's coming. You pronounce Laurelil the same way I do, except the first vowel sounds different in your accent. It is a nice detail. I think the time's correct as well on the platform. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Let's have a look. See, according to my phone, it is a few minutes to 10. And it's a few minutes to 10 in game. Two fantastic little features. Back to the gameplay. Naming things is the gameplay. Anyway, so once we've named the other... So this line can actually be named now. Right, so this line here is going to be the Laurelil food line. Or I should say the Laurelilville food line. Because it's the food line that supplies Laurelilville. Laurelil Croft like Tomb Raider. Interesting. Oh my goodness, I've just sent one vehicle here and it's... Where's the vehicle? Oh, it just dropped off. I'm pretty sure it dropped off nothing because it's the same first vehicle. I need more. We definitely need more. So, vehicles, line 3, clone, clone again. That's 6, 9, 10, 11 apparently. 15. So here's the line tool. Does it tell... No, that's the line manager, not the line information tool. Here we go, the line information tool. So this tells us the rate on each of the locations. So the rate here is 90, the approximate annual throughput for the line. And then the rate here is the approximate throughput per station on line 3 is 71. And I think, is it the annual production here is currently 400? Or is it like the shipments at 100 out of 400 or something like that? So we're going to need a much higher rate with these trucks. Definitely needing to sort that out. There's not a lot of food being created. There's a lot of grain being moved around. So that seems okay. We're probably going to need more vehicles on those lines. So these queuing up now doesn't matter because all that does is naturally then start to spread them apart. So now we need to name this town. So we've got Laurelilville and now we're going to have another town. And what we'll try and do is just name one town every live stream, maybe two. So let's spin the wheel again on viewer plus subscribers in chat. Remember, this is one of the advantages of being a viewer plus subscriber. If you want to support my channel, there's lots of ways of doing that on the website, and a lot of those listed on the support page are actually free. Free ways to, but these are ways that you can also support the channel. And the viewer plus one, I think, is the best one. There you go. Right then, let's find out who the other town's going to be named after. Num num. Oh! DJ, that was close, wasn't it? Okay, folks, we've got a more challenging one this time. We're naming it after that man Zam. Where's my moderator thing? So, it could... I mean, I've got an idea, but I'm not going to say it yet because I want to hear what you guys think. How many people we got waiting here? 50. I think it's almost time to do a bit of doubling up of this line. Almost got Explodedville number 2, yes. That town Zam? Panic attack, I like that. That man Zam field? Yeah? I mean, it doesn't have to have the whole name in, right? That man Zammingham. I kind of like that. Now, WW says Zamtown. I think Zamtown's probably a good one. Zamtown is what I was going to do. I think. I kind of forgotten. I've read all your responses and I've forgotten what it was. Yeah. These trucks are really on their way now. Production is starting up. We've got some materials on the platform, on the terminal. It calls them terminals. And I just realised we could probably get a bit of a refund on some of these terminals because we don't need that or that. There we go. Their username sounds like a what 3 words location. You know what? In some ways, that's a good username, right? And one of the things, when anybody's ever talking about creating a username or figuring out a username, my advice is try and have at least 2 parts to it. Because if you try and choose a one-word thing, there's a higher chance that that one word will be more used in other places than having a 2-word combination, right? Oh, good night, Kurt. And the other side of that is that if you can make one of those words completely nonsensical, we could get them to come down this road and then go out that way. That would mean I could then build out this way rather than into the road. You know what? I think we're just going to leave it here for now. There we go. So yeah, if one of the words is made up, that makes it even better. So if you use like Zanana transport. Zanana is a word I've made up. It might be a real word by coincidence, but I don't know. Yeah, Panic Attack is terrible everywhere, to get everywhere. Probably because there was a Robot on Robot Wars called Panic Attack as well. Weejub, maybe. Yeah, but like if you did like Zanada Transport, then that's 2 words. It fits. If you do a 3-word one, they tend to be a bit long and wordy. 1 word's too short. Definitely don't do 4 words. So make one of the words nonsensical, but make it fit. So you could have like Zanada Transport Co. if you wanted to. And that would be like your username. Or you could have 2 words that are very random to each other. Like penultimate conundrum, right? But that's a bit of a mouthful. Yeah. Yeah, Jiffy Transport Co. Yeah. Yeah. 3-word usernames are hard to fit into some platforms. Export limits the number of characters to 12. Exactly. So that's why I recommend 2 parts to your username and one of the parts to be a nonsensical word, because it makes it much less likely that it's been used in other places. Oh, what was the result? Oh yeah, we were talking about right. The one I had in my mind was Zamtown. So I'm going to agree with WeJob, yeah. And in honor of our viewer plus subscriber, we're going to call this place Zamtown. Okay, which means I need to go into this station and rename it Zamtown, because the train station is just called Zamtown. And then this drop-off is going to be Zamtown... What are we dropping off? And this is machine plants. Or construction materials. So this is like the Zamtown Con. For construction materials zone. That's the Zamtown Con station. You know how OpenOpenTTD stations auto-rename a place them automatic station? Imagine that in Transport Fever. If you have the town name first and then you put it in, it's okay. So then this one is Zamtown Plant. Yeah? And this one down here is Zamtown Quarry. Now it's not near, it's not... is it? Well, I suppose we can call it Zamtown Quarry. Oh no, yeah, Zamtown Quarry. And that means we can now rename the route. So this is Zamtown Conmat. It's the Zamtown Conmat line. I just remembered I don't tend to put the word line on the end of the line. So this is just Laralilville Food and Zamtown Conmat. Oh, it's Conmat, isn't it? Not Commat. Ah. Almost completely deleted. Hold on. Construction materials. Conmat. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So I think we've renamed everything over here. Now, in the future, we'll try and rename towns before putting in stuff, and that will help. So this one down here, this will be, if we go here and take town name, this is just going to be Laurelville Farm. Oh, mistype. Can I just press F2? That'd be nice. F2, because F2 in Windows is rename file. There we go. And this one over here is processing plant. There are no other plants around here, so that can be called plant as well. And I think we just need to rename the little food drop-off station. So, oh, that's just called Green Lane. That's fine. I'm happy with that, called Green Lane. And then, is it just the line? Oh, so now it's the train line. So this is... Now, what I normally do is I take an abbreviation of the two towns and then give that line a name. So this is going to be either the Lorazam line or the Zamloralil something. So I think I'm going to call it the Lorazam line. So L-A-R, Laurel, 1L, Zam. It's the oh god, Lorazam. Oh no, it's the Zam line. Oh dear, we've nearly paid off the extra loan that I've had to get. In fact, there we are. Right, I've put the loan back to the starting loan. Removed the L. I think Lorazam. Yeah, Lorazam. It's that L that's tripping me up. Lorizam. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a massive passing place in the middle of this and then add an extra... And I know it's a bit of a tongue twister. Lorizam, yeah. So we're just going to dual track this midsection and put a passing place in. It's really easy to do in this game. So this section here, we go up to the track, and then if you put the cursor next to it, it will build track next to it, right? And then you can just build across to here. And I think for this line, that should do. We can then connect it up. And the way that I like to do that is just to go from one piece of track to the other as far as it'll let me before it goes, nope, that's not a junction. And in theory, because the two trains are the same speed and loading times will be similar, they should just cross in this area anyway. So we get path signals in this game. We don't get chain signals or anything like that. And there's a tick to say one way. So I'm going to put a one-way path signal there. And a one-way path signal there. And that's it. Why don't you put a circular bus in both towns to get more passengers on the train? And we'll do some buses and trams and stuff soon. I just kind of wanted to get the first sort of extra out-of-town routes in as well. So a good time to set the second train going is when this one is starting to pull into that station. So if we go into the line list, no, vehicle list, and click on the Lorizam line, we can highlight the train and get ready to clone it. Will it just automatically come out the depot? I think it does, you know. I think it automatically comes out the depot. So I'm just going to fast forward the game a little bit until the train is about to pull into the last bit of the track, because then our train will come out the depot on the other side. I don't know if you'll see it this zoom level, but we'll give it a go. There we go. If it's on a line, it'll auto come out. Exactly. Right, there we go. So the train's come into the station. We clone it. We haven't got enough money. That's fine. We get out more loan. We try again. Lines. Vehicles. This one. Train. Clone. Right, so now we've got a train at either end. Fran the Man says the train station has good coverage of the towns at the moment, so it won't need buses till the town's bigger. That's a good point. That's probably why I didn't prioritise it. Anyway, so now we've got the train just arriving in one station over here, and it's doing its loading and unloading. It can carry up to 84 passengers, and it's almost full. The doors are closed, 83, and off it goes. And over on the other side, the other train is pulling into the station. It would have been a little bit more ideal if I'd have clicked it a little bit earlier, but I lost my click. There's currently only 30 people waiting on the platform. Right, train's in the station. It's going to load up, head off the other way. Let's see how things are going on our lines. So the important thing is, and this is the most important thing about starting a company in Transport Fever, positive line balance. It doesn't really matter if everything is efficient, if you've got exactly the right names, connections, exactly the right vehicles that are most efficient. If you've managed to get a positive balance on all your lines, it's a good start. That's a good start. Okay. The Transport Nerd's going to get going. All right. Thanks for coming by. We'll see you soon. And what we're going to do is we're going to increase the number of vehicles on this line because there is still way too much food just sat here. I'm thinking, do I want to reconfigure the station before we do anything like that? But let's just go for it. So on the Laurel food line, we've currently got 15 vehicles. Let's add another 5. And then Let's see. Does it say if the lines are overloaded? No. On the line statistics, it doesn't tell you if you're overloaded. It just gives you an overall rate. But on the station statistics, it tells you if the line is overloaded. You can see we've got very poor at Larilil Farm on the Larililville town line. Station, sorry, not line. Now, over here at the quarry, it's not as... Oh, that's weird. It took me to the town. I clicked the wrong thing. It's apparently not quite as bad. Quarry production transport is still only 28%. So I think it's because it's newer, right? Yes. Live weather services. Transport Fever 3 is releasing at the end of the month. Need to as well. So yes, Transport Fever 3 is due out on the 29th of September. And that is a Tuesday. I have a live stream scheduled for that I will be putting into the YouTubiness. And what we're going to be doing is playing this Transport Fever 2 series up until Transport Fever 3 comes out. And then when 3 comes out, we'll do that special live stream on the Tuesday. And then we'll carry on doing Transport Fever 3 on the Wednesdays from then onwards. Right, more vehicles. More vehicles on the Conmat line. So we've got 15. Let's add another 5. There we go. So they're going through okay. Production looks like it's good. There's no bottlenecks anywhere on any of these lines right now. We will get bottlenecks as production ramps up and everything like that. There will be. Now, one of the things that we can do is we can start creating the tools, because we have a tools factory that requires planks, a sawmill that produces planks, requires the logs, and there is then a forest that gives the logs over here. So we could do that sort of connection. There's actually another set of logs here. Now, over on this side of the world, there's no way for us to make the bricks unless we bring them in like by train from the other side of the world. Let's see. Now, if I remember correctly, right, originally in Transport Fever 2, a factory wouldn't produce unless not only there was the demand for it in the town, but also unless there was a full line connection made up that would deliver it. Now, as soon as stuff comes in, it will produce to come out. So the town now, as you can see, it didn't have this earlier when we looked at it. It has... Hang on a second. No, that didn't do it. Bear me a second. There we go. It has a plus 50% next to the supplies, right, for the construction materials. Now, it's saying it needs 78, right? And at the minute, we're delivering 37. So we need to continue to improve that to get more of a bonus for the town. If we get more of the bonus for the town, the population increases, okay, along with the other services. Yeah. Want to discover the game series, but I'll also have to wait until you get paid. You've got all month, and then again, you don't have to be there when it first releases. And, right, on top of that, right, it's a good practice to save your game regularly. That's probably... Have we got autosaves? I don't think so. Okay. Season 3, live stream 1. Safe. There we go. Right, where's my window? Let's see. So Transport Fever 3 is available on GOG, folks. Now, I don't know if that's going to potentially cause any conflicts with being able to have any workshop or any sort of mods. I believe they've got their own mod system, right? What's the Transport Fever 2 Early Supporters Pack? It is just a pack. Right, okay, so Transport Fever 2 is still £33.50 on GOG. I mean, it's an amazing game, but with Transport Fever... Did I say that right? Transport Fever 2 is £33.50 on GOG. And with Transport Fever 3 coming out, no matter how good the game is, I can't recommend it at that price. Let's check Steam. Okay, Transport Fever 2. Yeah, it's the same on Steam. For Transport Fever 2. There's no offer. To be honest, if I was them right now, I would be really like discounting Transport Fever 2 to get a really interest in Transport Fever 3. Like, Transport Fever 2 is a brilliant game just by itself. Presuming that Transport Fever 3 is better than 2, people are going to want the better thing from the 2. And getting 2 at a cheap price now would get them to get 3, I think. Jackamat says Steam's lowest recorded price is £3.35, 90% off. I would get behind it at that price. At £3.35, I would buy it. Even with the Transport Fever 3 coming out around the corner. Right, how we're looking over here. I still think we're going to need more vehicles. Is the line still profitable? Yeah, it's doing good. Okay, let's look at then getting more vehicles on this line. There's currently 20. Do I just double it? I feel like having 40 vehicles on the line would be too much. Let's do it. And then we can always scale back or fix bottlenecks and things. This was a bad idea. This was a bad idea. I just spent a lot of money on trucks. And they are slow. And they only carry like 5 each. And there's loads of... Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Ugh. Upside down. I hope this is in Transport Fever 3. Yeah. If they put the price down to around £2 to £5, I would recommend Transport Fever 2, even with 3 coming out soon. Yeah, I've just nearly doubled the amount of trucks. Those trucks are pathetic. I know, but it is 1907, Brandon. Okay, it is 1907. I do wonder if we're going to get through the amount of stuff that's piling up at the farm or not. Let's do just a little bit of fast forwarding to see how it goes. Oh, actually, before we do that, where's our trains? Okay, our trains are going down the track. Here's one on a single line here. And on the other side, here's one on a single track over here. So these two trains have successfully gone past each other at the relatively long midpoint passing place. Yes. Right, let's see how this looks. So there's going to be a little bit of a backlog here. But the question is, like, they've only just come out of the depot, so they're going to be really bunched up together. Once they start going along the route, do we get the first ones coming back and queuing up before the queue's gone? Let's find out. So if we go at 4 times speed, got the vehicles coming in, there's still a queue, they're going out, there's still 80 odd units of cargo on the platform. There are vehicles coming in, but they're going out faster than they're coming in. So it looks like this queue is going to go, but is there going to be materials left to pick up? I'm not sure if there is going to be grain to pick up. There goes another few out, one more coming in. You know what? I think it's helping. I think it's coping. I mean, it's costing an absolute fortune in vehicles and the running costs. Oh, hang on a second. I think the trains are about to pass each other. Yes, yes they are. This is going to be a nice thing to check out. Oh, can I do the game speed? I can't do the game speed while in that view, unless there's some shortcut keys that I'm not aware of. Right, let's see. So, yeah, we want to be in this sort of view. With a bit of height. Okay, here we go. Actually, let's do this. Let's see if I can make a manual dynamic camera. That was pretty cool. I like that. Trains are doing great. Trains are doing good. Oh my goodness, this... You know what? I thought I'd gone absolutely bananas crazy on those road vehicles. We might need more. It depends on what the production goes like, right? Oh, the dropping off seems to be potentially an issue. Well, let's just go fast forward through this for a minute. Are these going to just bunch up even more and more and more? Or is it just like a little bit of a slow point? Yeah, I think because they're dropping off and they're picking up, it takes longer than just picking up. So they're actually going to start backing up. However, that then sets the spacing down this road. And once that sort of spacing gets all the way around, I think it'll be fine. Loving the music? Yeah, we've got the open TTD music in the background. Gave it a shout out at the beginning of the live stream. This one we did before that. Look at those moving around. That seems to have spread out absolutely lovely. We've still got some materials to be picked up, but not a massive amount. Production at the materials plant. That seems to be going up. We're working through getting to level 2 by the looks of it. The consumption's pretty good on the rate. And the town is getting nearly all of the construction materials it needs. We're up to 78 out of 92. Ooh. We've got a slight bad thing on emissions. So emissions, we've got a minus 20% on the residents. You could repeat the orders with the second order for the unload load station in separate platforms. I could do. It's just that once they're spaced out, it isn't a problem. So they're not fully spaced out yet, but they're just finishing spacing out now. And there you go. It's okay. The first vehicles haven't come back. In fact, looking at this, there's room for another approximately 1/2 of the amount of vehicles we've got. So we've got 40 vehicles. I would say there's room for another 15 vehicles on this route before it even starts thinking of jamming up. Here come the trains again. Can we get between the two trains? Let's find out. That's quite loud, isn't it? But not ridiculous, right? Here we go. We're on the other side of the track. Here comes the other train. Whoom. Fantastic. They seem to be swapping over quite nicely. They're not perfectly in the middle, but they're pretty close. They're pretty close. Just add extra terminal and then get the trucks to load multiple terminals. I don't think it's not needed though. Like, why add an extra terminal when they're coming in, one out like this? Like, if I add even more trucks than what I think the road can cope with, then yeah, I can add more terminals. And that's why I've left more space at the side to be able to do that. But right now, that's perfectly fine. This crossroad's pretty interesting. Because the way that they come at the crossroads, they stay on their own side of the road. So they don't actually get in the way of each other. Flow's really nice. There we go. Simulator Adventures says, I hope the road terminals flow better and look better in the next game. These? I mean, it's not too bad now if you know the direction of which they flow. I think maybe instead of having this thing where it's completely clockwise and they go in through one set and south through the other set, there is just two different sorts, like a proper terminus and then a proper row. But maybe not, I don't know. I am not sure. This bridge is pretty cool. I like this bridge. There's a train coming through it. Whoosh. The curbs are awful. Yeah, that's true. Are you talking about the graphics rather than the way that things flow through? Yeah, not sure exactly what's going on here with these curbs. I think one of them was because there used to be a connection or something. I'm not sure. The quarry is doing better because most of the trucks have just visited. Yeah, the quarry is probably doing better because it's probably a shorter route. As a whole thing goes, I'm not 100. Oh, hang on, here we go. Look, so we're starting to get a little bit of backlog here, but that's fine because it's the production of materials which is the problem. Nothing on my transport network. Oh, here we go. Look, here we go. We've got a new cargo demand. So this is what we were talking about before. When towns grow to certain sizes, they end up with more cargo demands to be able to continue growing. So we're getting the plus 80% for the supply of food, but now it also needs machines and goods. And again, I'm not seeing around here where we... Oh, actually, we can make some machines here. We would need a nearby sawmill. Oh, there is a sawmill there. And okay. So it's a bit of a long distance. It's a bit of a big loop. But we could go... Oops. We could go forest to sawmill, sawmill to machine shop to town, town to forest. Or potentially do that last one just there, so we have a smaller loop here, and then just a short back and forth here delivering wood. So that's very doable for delivering the machines. Oh no, wait, that's tools, not machine. Oh no, that's wrong. That's no good. Oh, looking at the wrong thing. Oh well, there's just nothing around here. Yeah. Oh. Well, that's a little unfortunate. This town hasn't grown much yet, so I'm not sure what else it's going to need. The good news is that new industries do come along every now and then. So you never know when a new opportunity is going to come by. Also, it could be an opportunity... There you are, look. So there's a machines factory. It requires a sawmill and bendy L bits. We can make bendy L bits there from the iron and the coal. Actually, this is a good little production zone. Look at this. So around here, this is my primary factory. You can get these bits in that way that require iron ore and coal from just across the river. And then you will also need the stuff from the sawmill, but there's actually a forest just over here that you can then go around and deliver to the sawmill. So just within this kind of like area here, there is a full production chain with for the machine stuff. The bendy L bits is a technical... It is. It's a very technical term. But then, because this is so far away, right? This is so far away, we'd have to then probably train them over to the town. Yes. So, can you fund industries? Not in not in vanilla default, I don't think. There may be some other options around the map that we haven't spotted yet, but that's a pretty good one. There is a machines factory. I mean, the way to do it, really, right? The way to do it is go to the industry list, right? And then just look for the product that you need. And you can see that there is 3 machines factories on the map. There's one down here, the one we were just talking about. There's one up here that I just noted at as well. And then there's this one. All 3 of them are very far away from the town that needs it. But, well, you know, you're going to have to just set a big railway line in at some point. This is another one that seems to have most of the resources around it that it needs. In fact, it's almost in exactly the same sort of pattern. Look, check this out. Can I get this in one screen? So again, you know, you've got the central place here. You've got your sawmill down there. The forest is up there, so the forest goes down to the sawmill. Sawmill goes into here. Then you've got your L brackets and your 2 different... Oh, no, that's the wrong way around. And your 2 different resources that go into making them. It's all roughly within one zone again. The only difference here is that there's a couple of extra iron ore mines that could potentially feed in as well to just put extra. I don't think you need extra. So that's something we're going to have take a really close look at. Figure out how we're going to get all... Oh no, here we go. Zamtown also needs food and machine bits. Is there food around here? I see a farm. I'm not seeing a food factory nearby. No. So Zamtown's not going to have any food. And Laurelville's going to have food. But no of the other things. So based on the current situation, my plan is going to be to get tools into Zamtown, because tools can be made right outside of Zamtown with road vehicles. That's nice and easy. That's Zamtown with 2 different things supplied to it. Then we're going to have to look at Laurelville and probably bring in one of the other 3 depending on what we find. So we're looking for the production of goods, machine... is that good? Yeah, goods, machines, or construction materials. And construction materials, there is a plant over there. But I'm not seeing the resources for the plant. You got the machines factory that we already looked at over there. Oh, there is a goods factory not far away, actually. Oh, but goods needs the brackets. And it also needs... It's the refined oily stuff, isn't it? What's that? Plastics, I think. It's quite a big chain. Yeah. Have a train transport conmat and food between the towns. You'll have a bidirectional then. Maybe. Maybe. It would be lovely to fund industries as well. How are we looking down here? We've still got too much food. Yeah. Okay. Well. Let's add a few more vehicles. So on this... Can I just pop that out? No. Okay. So on this food line, I want to add... 7, 8... Let's add 10 more. That gets up to 50 vehicles. And then do we need more vehicles over here? Not really. I think we're meeting demand pretty much spot on. That's fine. How are the trains doing? Do we need more trains? I don't think we do. Let's look at the line statistics. So the rate is 179. It's the throughput of the line. That's not too bad. The food service is making a lot of money. A lot more than the construction materials. But they're all making money, which is fantastic. You know what? Should we actually get this service put in? I don't see any reason why not. We can get the road bits in, build the streets, jobs are good. So this forest needs to be connected to this sawmill. We'll add one little road in there. The sawmill needs to be connected to the machiny place. The tools factory. Tools factory goes into town, and then they go back to the other thing. And that's it. Let's get the stops in. So for this one, I think if we... Let me get this right again. If we do this, and they're going round anti-clockwise, they're going to come in that side, go out that side, and they're going to head upwards. So I think that's right. Okay. I would like some sort of indication when you're placing it down. That would help. Just a little arrow in the direction of flow, and that would solve most of the understanding problems, I think. So we're going to increase the platform size on that side. Then we're going to get rid of that one and add the street access going. We could do it in here. I'm going to do it in there and out there. Then we'll connect our roads up. Yeah, let's do that there. And we'll do that there. In and out. That should be okay. Then we want to do something similar here to in and out. So buildings. Get it as close to the road as possible, because we're going to remove that bit. Oh, there we go. Then configure... No, not configure that one. I want to configure this one. There we go. Oh no, I shouldn't have put that on there because we want to get rid of this, and add that. Oh, wrong street access. There we go. Get our roads in. No, I don't want that screen, whatever it is. Is that some sort of debug thing? The console, isn't it? We can add... I kind of want it straight. This can be bendy. There we go. So we're going in there and out there. Then we're going to do something similar over here would be nice. Maybe between these two roads, I think. Oh, this is going to be backwards. Oh, I don't know what to do with this one. You know what? I'll put it here. That should do it, I think. So if I put it close like this, they'll go... Yeah, that should work as well. There we go.
New viewer plus subscriber.
Fantastic. 21 months of a viewer plus subscriber now. For Widow Sport, thank you very much for supporting the channel. It's much appreciated. For those people who don't know, Viewer Plus is like my own little system. It allows me to offer benefits to you guys that are very special. Right, is that connected? It is connected. I think everything's fine. And then we need a drop-off place in town. So drop-off point for the... Oh, it's going to have to be down this end of town, though. I think this main road might cover most of it. Let's see what we can do. That's weird. I think there might be a graphical glitch because it's not showing me what I'd expect to see. Well, we'll put it here. They'll come in and they'll turn around. There's going to be some sort of crossing. Let's see how it goes. And you know what? Because we don't need to service, we can just use this vehicle depot. Get a new line. We'll go here, then there, and there. Yeah, look at this. So they're going to go to the end of the road and then double over that line. That might be all right. Yes. Worth replaying? Yeah, we'll get round to loan stuff soon. So this first one, we're going to just do a full load here. And then assign a new vehicle to it. So buy a brand new vehicle. So this place, vehicles, buy this vehicle, purchase, and then it should be in the depot. There it is. We can assign it to line 1. And then, because we know roughly how many we might need, we can just clone it a few times. Ooh, binary multiples of vehicles. Let's have 16. Then maybe later we'll have 32. And that's it. I think pretty soon we're going to be supplying this town with the with both of the materials that it requires. It's gone back down to 2. It has. So that's a good bit of construction there. Do we need more vehicles? You know what? I might need more vehicles soon. Yes, right. And then Laurelville's just absolutely had it. There's nothing we can get in here. We've got 45 people waiting for the train. Oh, and it's just about to come in. The train itself can carry 84. It's only about half full. I think both the trains are about half full at the moment. Oh no, trains. Here we go. Yeah, both the trains are about half full. So ideally, they want to be a little more full than that. But they're making good money. I'm happy with that. Ching. Fantastic. Is it worth expanding the station so that we save this area for future expansion? I'm not sure it is, actually. I'm not sure it is. Well, let's just double check this again for Laurelville. So there is some materials construction over here, but no nearby raw resources. There is some machine construction here, which we could create, but then we'd have to train it at quite a long distance. Again, materials over there, local resources, we'd have to train it a long distance. And materials over here, stuff in the area, we'd have to train it a long distance. So there's 3 options for the machine parts. I'm not seeing another option for the construction materials. Oh, there's one here. There is a quarry not too far away. It's not massively close. So there is potential for more construction materials over there. Yes. The price of Transport Fever 3 is pretty high. Yeah, but if you work under the assumption that Transport Fever 3 is going to be better than Transport Fever 2, which in theory, it should be. It sounds like they haven't left out any features and they've only added stuff. And good stuff, right? It's going to be a really good game. I'm pretty sure. I need to do some more digging. And okay, I don't think this is something that I've said publicly anywhere than potentially Discord. But I did actually have the opportunity to go and play Transport Fever 3 and go and talk to one of the development team. I got an invite to book in with them at Gamescom, but I couldn't go, and I am so gutted because I would have not only loved to have gone for the experience for me, but I would have loved to have gone to be able to then pass that experience on to you guys. It would have been so cool to go. I was weighing up the options and the challenges that were against me, and I just couldn't do it. And I'm actually gutted by it. If any sort of opportunity like that comes up in the future for anything again, I'm do my best. But there we go. Right. You might wait until it's on sale. That's a very legitimate strategy. Oh, here we go. Look, here we go. Our first wood is leaving. We're already saying that we need more trucks. So let's see what the balance is on this. So the forest production here is set at 400 production. And what's the line rate? It is... Oh no, wrong screen. It is 45. So almost certainly we're going to need to change it to 32 vehicles. There we go. We also need to give that line a name. Well, it's the Zamtown Tools line. See, when you have a system like I have of towns and then lines named in this way, you don't have to think of names, right? You just name the towns and everything else comes in. You need to sleep. Good night. I need to sleep as well, but never mind, eh? I only got a full day of work tomorrow. Right, so this is the Zamtown Tools line. There we go. So each truck will fill up on logs. They'll come and drop it off at the sawmill. The sawmill will provide some planks. Sorry. Some of the trucks will fill up with some planks, not many, and the same with tools. I am now wondering whether it's worth having like more trucks doing the logs to planks section than trucks doing the planks to tools and then into the town. Because there's not much of a loop going on there, is there? Interesting. I didn't really think of that before. Because if you look down here, these vehicles, as they come in, they're dropping off their quarried stone or whatever it is. And then they're picking up whatever building materials is here and going on into the town. But this one's left with 0 building materials. This one's coming in now, and there are 2 building materials to pick up on the platform. So now it's leaving with 2. The one in front of it left with 0. This one might leave with 1 or 2. So you don't need as many vehicles doing this leg of the journey as you do for this leg of the journey. So I think what I might do some balancing on that. And this one's going to be even worse, because this has got 1 primary and 1 intermediate. This one's got a primary and 2 intermediates before it gets to the town. Yeah. Can you not make them full load? Yeah, I could make them full load here, but the problem is if I made them full load, then they would sit there and wait a very long time, not get round through the town, and then back to pick up the quarried stone. If I was doing a dedicated line for the quarried stone, and then a dedicated line for the building materials, then it wouldn't be a problem. But because I'm doing one line that's doing both of them and then looping back, you lose some of the efficiency by some of these vehicles down here traveling not very full. But you gain the efficiency of vehicles doing, you know, not going backwards and forwards as much empty, in theory. Now, this one is not a great example of that because they're going all the way from the town back here to the quarry empty. This is a good example, right? Because on this run here, where they're doing this loop that goes round, they're only empty on this section of the journey, right? Which is a relatively small section of it. The rest of it is going round and they've all got something in it. Now, they will have less in it on this section of the route. They will be more full on this section of the route. But I've got a way around that I might try and implement. I've got a cunning plan. It's a very cunning plan. But you will have to wait until next time for my cunning plan, because what we're going to do now is go into the bank account and we're going to repay as much of the loan as possible. And we are getting pretty close now to being able to repay all of the loan. We only have, we only have 2.5 million left to pay, which is a very small fraction of the 10 million that we started with. Right. Let's see how close I got this. Oh, it sounds good. I bet it's close. Ooh. Not quite in the middle of the screen. So yes, with one big railway line, which now has 2 trains on it, and then we've got a production ring on one side and 2 road production rings on the other side, I would say that's a very good start to the company. We have paid off a very large chunk of the starting loan and managed to build this infrastructure, which includes those 2 trains and a lot of road vehicles. I can't even remember how many road vehicles we've got. It'd be nice if we had some sort of vehicle stack count somewhere. All lines. Oh, here we go. There are 124 road vehicles across the various different lines. I think that is absolutely brilliant. And if we look at the line information, all of the lines are making money apart from the brand new one. And I would expect the brand new one to probably start making some money relatively soon, because a lot of these vehicles have been sat around waiting to start their journey, and now they've nearly all started. So once they start getting going round and around, that'll be absolutely fantastic. Jack Mac says that's a lot for a first episode. I know, it's gone rather well. I think something that really helped was this railway line. Going a long distance on a relatively straight line between the 2nd and 3rd biggest town in the world worked absolutely brilliantly for us. Like, the money coming in from this line and choosing the engine with the speed and the carriages for their relative cheapness, but also their lightness. They're much lighter than the longer ones. It all came together absolutely fantastically. I don't think I could be any more pleased with the start of the 3rd series like this. I really don't. It's an absolute cracking start. It builds me with a lot of confidence, right? It gives me a lot of confidence for what's potentially coming up over the next few live streams. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss out on not only this, but other live streams and videos and shorts all about trains, transport, tycoons, and sim games. Do a lot of that sort of thing around here. And it's going to be great fun. Now, don't forget, folks, important things here. There is no live stream this Friday, but next Friday is the Partyathon live stream with a public multiplayer game of OpenTTD. Of course, next week we will still have Workers and Resources, where we're going to be trying to get more people into our towns. We will also have another Transport Fever 2 live stream and that party stream. So I might be able to squeeze another video in between now and next week. I have got a couple in the works, and there's some pretty exciting ones coming up as always. But there we go. I really hope you've enjoyed this start. I've found it fantastic, and I hope you have too. So, well, for now, I will say take care. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and don't forget, I'll have a good weekend. If I don't see you, I might try and fix this over the weekend, and if I do, there might be a video or some shorts on the second channel, the variety channel. So don't forget to get subscribed to that channel as well. But that's all for now. Thank you very much. Goodbye.